Hey everybody, it's Eric from epautos.com, your libertarian car guy, and this is the third video, or part 3 of my video about the installation of the Pulstar plasma core spark plugs in lieu of my factory stock AC Delco R45 TSX plugs in my 76 Pontiac Trans Am. And I will now give to you the following, not particularly scientific, but hopefully somewhat informative results based on the fact that I've had this car for 30 years and I'm as familiar with it as I am with my own smell, as El Guapo from the Three Amigos used to say. At any rate, what I found was that off-the-line throttle response and low and mid-range power does seem to have been noticeably improved. I can't really tell anything at wide open throttle. It feels pretty much the same, but it does feel snappier, without question. It feels snappier than it did before. So on balance, I think, yeah, it's worth it to go for these plugs in lieu of the factory plugs, particularly since being modern plugs, iridium tipped, even leaving aside the horsepower, torque advantages, or any other such advantage of that nature. Probably they're going to last longer than the old school plugs, which tended to be needed to be replaced more often. Now, I wanted to go back over something that I talked about in my second video on this topic, but which you may not have been able to hear because I had the car running so that you could hear what it sounded like. Problem with that is you probably couldn't hear what I was saying. And here it is. Before I started to get going on this job, I read all the information, including the caveat that, of course, you are supposed to gap these according to the original equipment specification for your vehicle. Now, here's where I ran into a little bit of a loosey-goosey kind of engineering on the fly issue. My factory R45 TSX plugs for the 76 Trans Am are supposed to have a 0.60 gap, and Pulstar says do not gap these plugs any more than 0.055. So what to do? I decided to just split the difference and gap them at 0.050 and see what it would do. And seems to be running just fine. It started right up. Did not notice any problems with it. I will probably inquire of their tech department to see whether my loosey-goosey engineering guesstimate was the right thing to do, but I'm thinking it probably is. I think if I had done something egregiously off base, I would have noticed it in the way the car ran and drove. So at any rate, a pretty cool little product, and if you're interested in learning more about these guys, just go to the Pulstar site. I think it's on here somewhere probably, or you can just type in Pulstar and you'll find it. And they got their thing on here somewhere probably. Of course, I've managed to put it aside. Now I can't find it, but at any rate, not a difficult company to find, and you might be interested in adding these to your vehicle for a slight, easy drop-in performance gain. No other modifications necessary, just changing the plugs. So I look at this kind of like going with a synthetic oil over a standard non-synthetic oil. You're paying a bit more for the higher quality and a bit more efficiency and a bit more performance and decreased maintenance intervals, which is how you get your money back on these deals, leaving aside the benefit of better performance, economy, and all of that other stuff. So, at any rate, more up at epautos.com, the web's best libertarian gearhead site. I hope you enjoyed this, and maybe one of these days I'll actually have access to a chassis dynamometer. Per the old song about, oh Lord, won't you buy me a Mercedes-Benz? I would love to have a chassis dyno so that I could do really objective before and after testing and tell you exactly how much horsepower and torque and so on was obtained by doing one of these little modifications. But unfortunately, my redneck budget does not yet encompass a chassis dynamometer, and none of my redneck friends have one either. So that's the best I'm going to be able to do right now. I hope it worked for you. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Thanks for reading the rants and supporting the site. And we'll catch up with you again soon.